'em pop, big gun Brian Petrie, giving out the lot. One is mortal, you know it won't miss. Gonna take a shot. Dog lock, that's the underdog. Yeah, they in the hunt. Send them home, that's KO or submission. Yeah, somebody done. Slime ball, yeah, that's the parlay. We gon' make it known. Pick 'em pod from MMA tapes. Yeah, let's get it going.
New intro. What good, baby? New intro. What's up? Oh, that's fire. That was done by my guy. I'm going to put his Twitter on the screen there. Connor Cooper. Cooper818, an Ohio boy. Which you got to love the Ohio boys. Patty's Pub, Ohio. Not sure if that's a real place, but it's an Always Sunny's fan, so I appreciate that. No, I reached out to people on the old Twitter because I have so many talented people that follow me. I'm like, listen, I've been trying to do the intro video and I'm not good at it, you know, and I gave Connor no direction whatsoever. I said, kind of keep it gambling themed, use my logo, and that's it. He's like, give me a couple days. Took him a couple hours. Homeboy sent that to me. We just watched it. After this, I'm going to display it on social media. His link to his YouTube, I'm going to put it on the screen as well. Go subscribe to his YouTube. Go follow him on Twitter, X, whatever. And then the actual link to his YouTube page will be in the description. Good Ohio boy. I said, once he did, I said, that's phenomenal. Can I give you some money? What's your Venmo? What's your Cash App? He said, I don't get paid. And we you know, Ohio boys stick together, and you know, I gotta love that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna force the guy to get paid, but I'm definitely gonna give him all the shouts out because the goddamn intro video is phenomenal. He pulled clips from the past, me in the beginning doing that. You know, so I love it. 314. God, I'm jacked to the tits for this, boys. Jacked to the tits. If you hear that, you know, shaking the camera a little bit, that's just my dick getting rock hard for this card because boy, oh boy, I love it. I love this card. Been a while since I've done a recorded. It's been like a month since I've done a recorded podcast. It's been even longer than that since I've done it recorded without guests pay-per-view and a big pay-per-view. Timbo, he's taking a little break from killing people, right? He's got a laundry list of names that he's out there just, right? But he's having a second child, I believe, a second son. He's already got one beautiful son. Him and his wife, Ashley, are expecting another beautiful boy. Sometime this week, maybe next week, sometime this month. So, you know, couldn't really lock him down. And then the old CC, old nerd CC, casual Christian, you know, this dude's going back to school. He is, you know, got a lot on the burners when it comes to stuff. Him, you know, I believe him and his beautiful wife, Molly, are expecting a child as well. But, yeah, they're just busy guys. So then I was like, you know what, BP, you got a bullpen. You got I Am Saturday. Big Joe. You got Joe could come on, rip this. You got Mitch Zuck, right? Zuck can come on, rip this. You got Evan Longoria. Call the bullpen number 3. I could have brought him on here, but it came together a little last minute. I was waiting on the boys. It didn't happen, so we're gonna go solo dolo. I apologize for not being here next or not doing a video podcast next week. We had some flooding in Cincinnati, and this camera, which I ordered, I sold my other camera to Kenny Florian. I got this one. And it wasn't here yet. And I could have done the fucking the webcam for either the laptop or my monitor. It just don't look good. It looks bad. So I couldn't do it. And then I was gonna go live Friday, but you know, I was just have fun being a dad, man. You know, had a little bit of a rough week with you know, I had to go clean out some of my mom's stuff at my parents' house, which hit me like a ton of bricks. Hit me way harder than I thought it would. You know, I've been doing the best I can with my mom passing, but since she had a stroke in 2009, which kind of took away a lot, you know, took away her driving. She stopped working, all that stuff. And then her hobby became just shopping. So all the clothes we were either going to, you know, the girls, my wife and the 2 kids, we're going to keep whatever they could, the jewelry, all that stuff, pictures. And then we were going to donate the rest of the clothes. And, you know, it's just sad because some of the stuff I bought her, some of the stuff I was with her when she bought, things didn't have tags on them, and it just fucking rocked me, boys. Like I'm not embarrassed to admit it. It rocked me. So that happened on Thursday as well. And I got the camera Friday morning, and like I said, I could have ripped maybe a live podcast Friday, but last week's card was whatever. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna enjoy time with my kids, my family, because my daughters, my wife are the only ones that really are fucking just, you know, bringing me up through this and holding me up with, you know, lose my mom. But we're not going to get down a sad road. We got UFC 314. I got a juice. I'm talking juice. Slime ball. Biggest slime ball we've ever done. I love it. I think it's going to hit. And then you guys can all give me pats on the fucking back. Give me an attaboy. And then the green hammer is also pretty fucking juiced too. I'm just juicing everything. I'm just juicing. I'm a fucking juicer nowadays, babe. Just juicing everything. So I'm really happy and I'm really excited about this card. First fight of the night though. I mean, the only fight on this card that deserves a sound clip is the first fight of the night.
Bring her in here, stinking up the joint. Come on.
And we're stinking up the joint right off the bat. Nora Cornoli. She's from France. Paris, France. Minus 175 versus Haley Cowan. Plus 145. Haley Cowan, you know, she's from Baylor. Barely hard to know her. Great joke. She's from Baylor. She was an athlete in another sport and has taken on MMA. She's going to get better, right? She's going to get better. God damn it. This is. So I'm just going to keep rocking audio here for a little bit because, you know, what are you going to do? This is we're back. All right. Tech difficulties, baby. That's another reason why I don't want to go live. My mic was fucking up. I switched my mic out, got on new cables, and it's still fucking up. What is happening? Anyway, Haley Cowan, whatever. Athlete, not a fighter yet. Could be, probably not. And Cornoli is just, you know, a little bit more well-rounded, a little more edgy, more polished around the edges. Give me decision over, duh. And give me Cornoli, however you say her name. Give me the Paris, France. Give me the woman from France. Paris, France. Give me Cornoli. Let's rock with that. Decision over 2.5. That's a guarantee. Decision, sure. Cornoli by decision. We'll look at it. All right, next up, Tresean Gore plus 300 versus Marco Tulio minus 380. I should probably pop up the lines. I did get these yesterday, maybe. Plus 295 on Tresean Gore and Marco Tulio Silva. Of course, he's got 4 fucking names. He's Brazilian. Duh. He is minus 375. Gore used to be this athletic. I mean, not used to be. He's still an athletic dude, but he used to be like really raw, athletic, and powerful guy. Now he's just guillotine everybody, right? He doesn't fight all that often. He's getting his reps in the gym, but he goes out there and just guillotines. Just the fucking death grip, right? Tulio's a striker. This guy's gonna come in there. He's gonna strike. He's gonna fucking kick you up. He's gonna beat you up on the feet. Not polished by any means, but he's there. And Tresean Gore got knocked out by Cody Brundage. Okay, let that sink in. Cody Brundage knocked out Tresean Gore. Was that a one-time thing? Was that a fluke? I don't know. If you look at Tresean Gore's face, there's no chin there. He's chinless, right? Does that, who knows? Who knows what that means? I'm going to go Tulio here. I know it's a huge number, minus 275, but he's going to send him home. I'm going to go by knockout as well. Let's hear John.
Send him home early.
I told myself at the end to do the locks, everything all together, and maybe do like a little display that I'm talking about locks now. I already fucked that up. Anyway, send him home. Buy knockout minus 125. Don't love it. I like to give juice nowadays. Your boy's got that juice. But I'll take it. I'll take minus 125. It's better than minus 275, but I think he gets Gore out of there, or Gore fucking grabs the neck and chokes him out. What is Gore by submission? 11-1 by submission. I mean, all this dude does apparently is guillotine people. 11-1. I know somebody in my life that's going to play that. His name's Tim Mitchell, right? Timbo Slice is going to play that 11-1 submission. And then when he doesn't get it, if he doesn't get it, he is going to roast Gore in the chat. Like Timbo, I love the guy so much. He's ruthless, right? But he doesn't distinguish between a guy. He'll play a guy minus 305. He'll play a guy plus 1200 or a prop or whatever. He treats those the same. Right? If a guy that's 11-1 doesn't cash or doesn't hit that prop, he treats that guy the same that if a guy who's minus 3-1 or 301 or whatever, he treats him the same. Like there's no differential. You're going to get fucking toasted. If Tim bets you, you better fucking win, bruh. You know what I mean? You better win. You're not. I think Tully's going to win here. I think he's going to clip him. All right, next up, you got Sumajari, minus 170 versus Mitch Rapuzzo, plus 142. Let me tell you something about this. Let me tell you something. You know, Mitch Rapuzzo, you know, Ultimate Fighter guy, right? And then I think he went on the Contenders and lost. Yeah, also Jake Haley on the Contender. Then debuted against Andre Lima. Lima's a stud, split decision loss. Contested fight. Don't really know about the split decision. I thought Mitch handily lost. But he's a good grappler. And Sumajari is a fucking killer bee kill. We all saw the Matt Schnell fight. We all saw the fights that he's done before. The guy ain't got much of a ground game. Charles Jourdain decision him, submission. Tim Elliott got him R triangle choke. Matt Schnell got him by triangle choke as well. The leg triangle, arm triangle. Dropped the decision to Jourdain. Jourdain got 2 takedowns on him. And then his UFC debut, he lost the armbar by Luis Samoka. Rapuzzo's got some submissions. He is a wrestling base. He gets on top. Easier said than done. He can grab a hold of something, bro. He can get you. So I like the dog in Rapuzzo. That's flat out. Give me the money line. But here's where the juice comes in, okay, babe? Here's where the juice comes in. Give me Green Hammer. The green fucking hammer, which is like 5-7 on the year. We're okay. Green Hammer, Mitch Rapuzzo by submission, plus 750. Plus 750 for a guy that has been submitted numerous times, 3 times in the UFC, with a guy that the only way he's going to win this fight if he gets it to the ground, who has some submission. He's not, Richard Rapuzzo is not world class on the ground or whatever, but he's got some submissions. And Sumajari can give something up, a back and neck, an arm triangle, whatever. We're catching 7-1 this weekend, babe. You're hearing it here first. 7-1 plus 750. Green Hammer. Knock it out of the park, babe. Let's go. Next up, Seguis. I can't pronounce this guy's name. Dumas, plus 160 versus. Now I can say this fucking dude's name, right? Mikhail Olashechek. Fucking nailed it. Woo, I nailed that. Little podcast juice. Mikhail Olashechek back up at 85. Said, you know what, boys? I know I'm small at 185. I'm kind of small at 170 if you put me in there with some of the big boys. I might as well just eat good and fight 85. And especially if you're giving me Dumas, who is a wild card. The last time this guy was supposed to fight, he pulls out of the fight. No one knows where he went. Something happened, obviously. Obviously, it got cleared up with the UFC. But like apparently the rumors were he just disappeared. He was there fight week and he just went away. Fight went away. No other explanation, right? Some stuff outside the UFC, outside the cage, it's a little bit of a problem. I think he's on his last leg. I think the UFC probably wants to get rid of him. They got to fulfill a contract. Here we go against Olashechek. Olashechek, great body puncher. Obviously, he's going to be undersized. Dumas is pretty big, pretty long for this division, but Olashechek, even though his ground game is pathetic, right, and he gets submitted quite a bit, I just don't think Dumas has the skills to either get him down or submit him. Dumas has become a bit of a grappler. We've seen him grapple people. I think Cody Brendan's fight, he was grappling and all this other stuff. He's kind of heavy on top, but I think if a Olashechek really just avoids the ground and boxes him up and touches the body, he can win this fight here. I see some people liking Dumas here at the dog prices, a couple people. I like Olashechek. I don't know how I'm going to play this. I'll probably play Olashechek by knockout, which we'll go ahead and pull that up because I have the capabilities of doing that. High tech show. Olashechek by KO plus 130. So that's probably how I'm going to play it. I do see other people loading up on Olashechek because Dumas is a dumb ass at times. They see him loading up on Olashechek. It's like a moral lock or putting him in a parlay piece, whatever. I kind of avoid that. This could be the app, the spoiler here, right? This could be the worm in the apple. But I'm going to rock with Olashechek. I'm not a fan of Dumas. I think he looks cool. He's got a great look. He's got great tattoos, right? You know what I mean? But I don't really love his fighting style. I think he's super very green, and I think he's kind of a piece of shit outside the octagon as well. So, let's hope he loses, huh? All right, next up, Darren Elkins plus 285, the damage. I'm so fucking happy because I am a guy, my whole life, I've been backed in the corners, and my friends know I used to be a wild boy, and I'm a piece of shit and kind of a fearless dude growing up. from 18 to like 23. Like if my friends dared me to do something, there's a good chance I'd do it. That's how the whole breaking bottles over the head started. My friend dared me and I did it. And I was like, that was nothing. So then I was like, I can do this. But we did a lot of dumb stuff because you're getting backed into a corner. And I'm so glad John let go of the damage stuff, because if he kept pushing it, the damage tattoo, if you don't know, if you don't watch Yannick and Florian, John asked me years ago, would I get the damage tattoo? And I think I initially said like 15K. Talked to my wife. My wife is the most supportive woman in the entire fucking world. And she goes, bub, I can't let you do that. I'm sorry. So then the number went higher. I said, John, I can't do it. It'd have to be a lot of money. And then he kept pushing it a little bit. I'm glad he's laid off it, because if the money did come in and I was to have to do it, I would have done it. That's the type of person I am. So I'm so glad he's let it go, because that is a rough tattoo. But the only person that could pull that tattoo off is fucking Derek. Derek, huh? Who's that? Darren Elkins. But he's finding Juicy J, Julian DeRosa, minus 360. Has this, I feel like this money's probably coming on Elkins. Yeah, plus 260, minus 325. Just a little bit of money coming in on Elkins here. Julian DeRosa's getting down a little bit. Strong take on this fight. I don't know why I'm whispering. I'm going to whisper. But then I'm going to project, because everyone listening and watching needs to know this. I'm big on Erosa here. I think Erosa, he's so inconsistent. He's so chinny at times, but he is a good athlete. He's explosive. He's powerful. And Darren Elkins is just a grinder. He's so hard to finish. You can beat the piss out of him. You can make him bleed and all this. He doesn't go away. He looks tired. He's not. But Julian DeRosa with those long arms, it's easier said than fucking done, baby. Julian DeRosa has some really good front chokes. He has a good Darce. He has a good alligator. Alligator. He has a good Darce. He has a good Darce. He has a good front choke. Why can't I just? Why is my brain not? Hold on. Wait. Let me do this. All right, there it is. Now we're firing. He's got a good Darce, right? He's got a good anaconda, not alligator, an anaconda, and he's got a good guillotine. He's going to hurt Darren Elkins in this fight. He's going to hurt him. Elkins is going to be shooting at legs. That's the only way he's going to win this fight, is be shooting at legs. Julian DeRosa has really good front chokes, and I don't care how tough you are. Darren Elkins can will his way through a lot of things. Getting your face lumped up and cut up and then getting a choke put on is a problem. Julian DeRosa is my pick. I think he's hitting a sub, and we're going Julian DeRosa by sub in a slime ball. Remember the new slime ball rules. We go favorite dog prop, right? That's the prop that's screaming out to me. It's a lovely number at plus 300. I just have it in my head that DeRosa is going to clip him. Elkins either fall or dive into something. Julian DeRosa would lock up that Darce, anaconda, alligator apparently is what I called it earlier, or a guillotine. And I think Darren can probably fight out of the guillotine. I think he can fight out a lot of these, but his specialty is the anaconda / Darce. There's obviously some difference between them, but he locks it up. It's a problem. And then Jim Miller has said this before. He's been caught in a submission by Nate Diaz. And the problem is if you're bleeding, you can't breathe because of the blood. So it's not even a blood choke. It is a blood choke, but it's also the fact that you're bleeding so much that you're like choking on your blood. So you got to tap so you can breathe. I think that might happen here as well. Give me Julian DeRosa. Give me him sub plus 300 in the slime ball. I love it, baby. I love it. I feel it. I'm betting that on the Yannick and Florian as well. Let's go. Speaking of Jim Miller, this line's crazy. Jim Miller plus 575 versus Chase Hooper, the Dream, minus 850. Listen, we've all been on the Chase Hooper ride, right? We all have seen him from the Contender Series, the 19-year-old kid getting knocked out around by Steve Garcia, having these fights, and he's looking really good lately. But he's beating an old Clay Guarita, and I know Jim Miller's old, and he beat up Slava Klaus, and I like what Chase is doing with his striking. It's not the cleanest in the world. It's a little wild. Like, he will put his chin out there because he wants to keep a pressure. He wants to keep a pace. He wants to exchange. He's got long-range weapons. He's got some good kicks, and he'll come right at you. Jim Miller has some good boxing, has some really good counter boxing as well. Jim Miller on the ground, though, is a legit black belt, but off his back it can get a little rough for old Jimmy Miller. Off his back, he's not the world-class guy. And Chase is so good at creating scrambles and winning those scrambles. I think the line is too high. I think Chase should be the favorite. I just think Jim Miller, 42 years old, who still's got some dog in him, right? He's got a great chin. He'll come at you. He'll hit Chase. Chase is no defense. He'll clip Chase. But when it goes to the ground, there's a lot of questions. And when it picks up in the second or third round, a lot of questions. Does Jim Miller have that cardio at 42? Because Chase isn't going to slow down. The question is, how does Chase win? Is he going to knock out Jim Miller? Is he going to submit him? I don't know. Jim Miller has fought everybody, obviously. But when you're giving Jimmy Miller, right, plus 575, I'm going to take it, right? And I'm going to sprinkle. I don't think Chase Hooper at this point in his career should be a minus 850. I don't know if he's there yet against anybody. I like to move to 155. He's filling out his body. I think he's getting exponentially better each time he fights. But this could be a big roadblock here. You know what I mean? Jim Miller's not an easy guy just to run over. And if you do, I'm going to be super impressed. If you go out there and submit Jim Miller, I'm going to be super impressed. If you knock him out, he's been knocked out before. Be very impressed, even with you being minus 850. But Jim Miller hanging this price, I think he's got a puncher's chance in the pocket. You get clip Chase because Chase, again, doesn't have the best defense in the world. And God forbid Chase gets a little too confident on the ground and Jim Miller wraps us up. Let's not forget here, boys. Jim Miller submitted Charles Oliveira, right? Like, this dude's got some chops. 575, long shot, throw it in there. I love it. All right, next up, you got Vinya Kakala Jinjidob, minus 155 versus Yan Xiaonan, plus 124. Yan Xiaonan, showed a lot of heart in her title fight against Zhang Weili. She got choked out and then woke up and wasn't choked out and then came back and started winning the fight, right? Like, she's an absolute stud. Janjanova, everyone loves Janjanova because of the haircut, the kakara, all this. John Anik hypes her up a lot. She's actually quite dry. She does one thing really well. She'll grab a hold of your single leg and she'll take you down and she'll win scrambles. Her jiu-jitsu is obviously good. She might get you out, she might not, but she's going to out-position you. And there's a good chance she's going to take you down at least a couple times a fight. Yan Xiaonan's had problems with takedowns in the past. She's obviously working on that. So curious to see how much she has worked on that against a girl like Janjanova, who what she's going to do. Everyone knows what she's going to do. She's going to take you down. She ain't going to outstrike you. Her striking's basically non-existent. She's tough as nails. She has a high pace. She has good cardio and good jiu-jitsu. You know what she can do, but she still does it. I like Janjanova here. Your boy knows chicks, right? We all know that. Everyone knows that. I mean, geez, it's like tattooed on my forehead at this point. Your boy knows chicks. But I like Janjanova. I don't love her. I wouldn't be surprised if Yan Xiaonan wins this fight. Wouldn't be surprised at all. But I'm going to go Janjanova. I like saying her name. I think it's going to be a decision. I think it's going to be over. I think Janjanova maybe by submission if we get lucky or TKO, but I doubt it. Give me Janjanova. High-level fight. High-level women's MMA. I really wish. I get so frustrated when fighters, they go into a fight. Like this used to happen with Khabib, and Khabib was like one of a kind, we know, but happens quite a bit. They'll go into a fight with somebody and they'll get taken down over and over again. And it's like, that's that person's game plan. And they're in the corner like, man, they're sticky. I can't get away. But what were you training for? Who were you doing? Like, there's always that saying like, I'm not worried about what they're doing. I'm only worried about what I'm doing. I'm worried about what I'm training. That's great. But you also got to know what they bring to the table so you can fucking stop it at some point. And you're in your corner between rounds getting frustrated. That's on you, bub. That's on you and your team. So hopefully Yan Xiaonan has learned from that and has really made some improvements, because if not, Janjanova is going to take her down and she's going to get, beat up and ridden for 3 rounds. All right, next up, Dan Ige, plus 130 versus Sean Woodson, also known as Timbo. Looks like my guy Timbo. Timbo minus 175, Sean Woodson minus 175. Dan Ige plus 145 now.
Hello? Okay, this is Dog.
Yeah, it is a dog. I love Ige. I mean, Ige's fought the who's who. He's been in there with everyone. He has dropped a lot of those fights. He doesn't typically win these fights, but he's been in there. And if you look at Sean Woodson's winning streak that he's on, he's a big, tall, long guy, right? He's got some skills. He's getting better. I like Sean Woodson, but he's got tall man defense. Chin could be in question. And Ige just has that thing where if he clips you, he can put you down and put you out, right? Ige's biggest problem is with guys that take him down. I don't think Sean Woodson's going to take him down. I think Sean Woodson's going to want to play the I'm going to stay away, I'm going to kick, I'm going to punch, I'm going to move a lot. That's Sean Woodson's game. Eventually, I think Ige is going to land a shot because I don't think Woodson has the best defense. And if he lands a shot, how's Woodson going to take it? That's a big weight cut for a big dude, depleting yourself against a high-level guy like Ige who does have power. I mean, it's not the best power in the division, but it's fucking power. He's put people out. He put Gavin Tucker out in the first round. Beep, beep. I like Ige. He's my dog lock. I like him here. He was almost in the sign ball parlay. I went another route with it, and I want to separate those. I almost made the underdog list of my sign ball parlay was going to be my dog lock, but I want to give you more picks because I do like quite a few dogs on this card. So the sign ball parlay pick, the dog pick is also could be an underdog pick. Obviously, I'm putting him in a parlay, but I really like Danny Ige here. I just think he clips Woodson, and if he doesn't get him out of there, he's definitely going to hurt him. You know, Luis Sedano hurt Woodson a bunch of times in their fight. I think Ige at least can get to him and hurt him. And Ige's biggest weakness is obviously guys taking him down and beating him up. And I just don't see Sean Woodson having that in his bag. I think if anything, Dan Ige might go for some takedowns. I hope Dan Ige, though, sometimes his fight IQ is dog shit. You know, if we're training in Vegas and fighting as often as he does and people loving him, his IQ is sometimes dog shit, right? It is. And hopefully he doesn't just keep hunting for takedowns. Sean Woodson has some pretty good takedown offense. That's not going to be your path to victory here, bud, right? I know he's a big, tall, long guy. You want to close that distance, but you just hunting for takedowns, putting him against a cage, trying to fight for a single, trying to switch from a single to a double, trying to lock your hands, stalling up, that ain't going to win you this fight. You're going to get elbowed by the big boy. You're going to get elbowed by the big boy, and you're just going to time's going to drift away. I know the reach is, but you got to close that distance. You got to throw some hands on him. Well, that being said, I think Ige is going to do that. I like Ige in this spot. Ige by knockout, that's interesting. I've not looked that up yet. That is something that definitely comes Saturday night. I will probably play 380 plus 380. You know, not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. All right. Next up, Nikita Krylov. I used to say Krylov. Plus or minus 192 versus Dom Reyes. Plus 160. So is Dom Reyes back? He had that great fight with John Jones, and then everyone knocked him out, and he had horrible injuries and almost lost his life to a blood thing or whatever the fuck. Is he back? He's looked good. The Anthony Smith fight, he looked good, but Smith is, you know, that dude's more than washed, right? That dude is fucking cooked. But he looked good. And he's going against Nikita Krylov, who we haven't seen in a while, who, again, I said this on the Anakin Florian. If you put a gun to my head, I would say Nikita Krylov is well into his 40s. He's 32 years old, which is crazy. I remember this dude a heavyweight back in the day. Crazy that he's pretty young, right? And I know he's got some things. He's Ukrainian, but he represents Russia. It's a whole political thing with him. But the guy's nails when he fights. He's wild, throws some good kicks, but his biggest weakness is when he gets taken down, getting submitted. You know, he's got submissions on his record too, but his submission defense isn't high level. Dom Reyes ain't going to do that, but Dom Reyes is a freak athlete. When Dom Reyes is on, it could be a problem for Nikita Krylov. I like Dom Reyes here. This is a good plus money here. Plus 160. Did the line move at all? I meant to look that up. Plus 145 on Dom Reyes now. So get him while you get him. Get him while you get him because money's moving on old Dom Reyes. I like Dom Reyes here. Do not tell. I've been talking about Timbo a lot this show. Maybe I just miss him. Timbo has lost a lot of money on Dom Reyes losing years ago. A lot of money. I'm talking like couple, like 40 G's or something like that. He was doing a DraftKings lineup and was like literally all he needed to do was Dom Reyes just needed to maybe like land a punch or just show up and he wins. And Dom Reyes got completely flatlined. Timbo does not like Dom Reyes. I don't think he'd appreciate me picking Dom Reyes, but I'm picking him. It's dog money, which I like. And I just think Krylov, he's been off doing whatever. There's rumors that he died, right? That he got caught up in the war and died or something like that. I just, listen, I think he's nails on the feet. He's hard to put away. He's durable, but I just think Dom Reyes can get it done with, probably by decision. Maybe a second or third round TKO. I'm not really sure. Nikita Krylov doesn't have the best cardio in the world, but he's been away working. Maybe he's fixed all that and he goes out there and stomps Dom Reyes and goes, no, he ain't back, babe. Right? But I think he might be back. So give me Dom Reyes. Again, big, long guy. And I said this in the Anakin Florian. A guy like him, it's not going to be an overnight thing, but a guy like him, I'm sure he's trained. Listen, he's gone all over the world. He's trained with some of the best guys in the world. But a guy like him, yes, he wants to be a striker. Yes, he wants to use his athleticism, his kicks, his long punches, whatever. But man, when people start shooting on you, when you go to the ground, if you develop a good Darce, kind of like what I was talking about Julian Rosa, you develop a really good front choke game with that long arm and that long frame, you're going to be a problem. I hope he works on that, and maybe when he gets a little bit older in his career, people won't be shooting on him anymore because he'll wrap that fucking thing up. But again, that's not an overnight thing. All right, next up, you got Yair Rodriguez. We're in the main card, by the way, as well. That first fight, Dom Reyes versus Krylov, is the first fight in the main card. I love this fight card. I fucking love it, baby. I love this fight card. I love it top to bottom. There's one fight, the very first fight, that stinks. Other than that, give me it all. Give me it all. And I'm going to watch with my buddy Steve, who I haven't watched fights with in a while. Good friend of mine, been a friend since second grade. Longest friend I've ever had. Probably my best friend. Going to his place and watching it, so I'm very excited. It's been a while. So Yair Rodriguez, minus 190. Nah, that can't be. 148 plus 164. What do we got up currently? I should just do currently. Quit reading my notes. Yair Rodriguez, minus 198. And Patricio Pitbull is plus 164. Pitbull coming over, long career in Bellator. We all know the thing with Pitbull. Small guy, probably should be a 135er, fought at 145, champion for many years, went up to 55, became champion there. A legit dude, knows how to fight within his frame, knows how to close distance. He struggles at times against taller guys like an AJ McKee, who's 5'11". Jeremy Kennedy is last time out, 5'11". Yair Rodriguez, 5'11". So this is a really good, UFC done good here because Yair Rodriguez is right kind of at the top, right? He's fought the who's who and he's fallen just a little short, but he's still there. Any given day, he could beat some of the top guys. So Pitbull coming in, instead of getting an easy fight, they're giving him right to Yair, and I kind of love that. Yair, I think, is going to have the striking advantage, obviously the kicking advantage. He's absolutely nasty. He's incredibly fast. I think the problem there, Yair, though, is his wrestling defense. He's good off his back. He has some submissions off his back. He has some submissions when he's on top. He's well-rounded, but it's just a takedown defense is a problem. I'm going Pitbull. I picked Pitbull on the show on Anik and Florian. John Anik, Jason Anik, friends with Bilal Muhammad. So am I, but they're very in tune with Bilal. And Bilal's going to be in the corner for Yair. Yair trains with Bilal, Mike Valley, and those guys in Chicago. And apparently Yair is hired and has worked with an Olympic caliber wrestling guy. I mean, I know it doesn't happen overnight, but he has been obsessed with takedown defense. That's interesting because Pitbull isn't, he's good grappler. He's good on top, but he isn't like a guy that's really good at hunt for takedowns all that much. He's going to punish you on the legs. He's going to try to land strikes at top. He's very patient when he's in there. And he'll take you down to take you down, but he's not like a lay on top of you, beat you up kind of guy. But I need him to be here. I think he will adjust to this. I think he's going to go out there. He's going to see the speed of Yair and go, don't want that. Let's mix some things up. I'm a well-rounded mixed martial artist. I'm going to take the fight to the ground. I might take his back. I have better jiu-jitsu. I do think he has better jiu-jitsu than Yair. I think Yair's going to throw some things up, expose maybe a back or something like that, and Pitbull's going to take advantage of the position. I don't think he's going to finish Yair. I like Pitbull at the dog money. That's my dog in the slime ball is Pitbull, right? I could have added Iga. I could have added Dom Reyes. I feel like Pitbull's going to go out there. He's going to look good. He's going to want to go out there. He's going to want to put on a show, but he's also going to know I've been in Bellator, which is the B League, which is it is, right? And I've been double champ over there. I got no respect, right? People respect him. Hardcore people know who he is. People know this dude's fucking real deal. But I got no respect over there. So he's going to come in, and even as much as he wants to put on a fucking show everybody, yeah, I'm fucking here. Welcome to the show. He's also going to want to get a win. And the easiest path to victory in this fight is to get the fight to the ground, get on top, beat Yair up, and go home a victor. That's the easiest way, and I think that's what he'll do. So give me Pitbull. I like decision. Maybe like a TKO, but Yair's tough, man. Probably not. Probably going to be decision. What is Pitbull by decision? Let's just dive into some props here. Pitbull by decision plus 400. Listen, that or Yair knocks him out. I think Yair finishes, and I think Pitbull wins by decision. All right, next up, João Silva, Fighting Nerds on the shirt, baby. João Silva, minus 325. This has come down. So he was minus 325 2 days ago against Bryce Mitchell, 260. Let me get the current line because this line is a moving. And we got João Silva, minus 230. Bryce Mitchell plus 180 or plus 190. I love that, right? Because I'm on John Silva. I hate being the guy that's on like the new hot guy that we haven't really seen his new all of his skills yet. Yes, Charles Jourdain took him down 3 times, but this dude's so confident. He's with such a good team. He's so powerful that Bryce Mitchell does have some really good grappling, but I just don't think he's going to be. And Bryce Mitchell's wrestling and his grappling really, it's not as technical and as clean as you want it to be. A lot of it's strength based, right? I just don't think that's going to work with a guy like John Silva, who is incredibly strong for this division. He obviously has big power. I don't know if he's going to go out there and one punch knock out Bryce Mitchell, but I do think he's going to make Bryce stay on the feet with them. I think he's going to kick Bryce's legs out, and I think he's going to land a big shot and get Bryce out of there. I think it's going to be a KO. I like John Silva. Final leg of the slime ball, John Silva. And I see a lot of people really on the other side with Bryce because they're like, this is Jonathan Brito versus Pat Sabatini all over again. Pat Sabatini on the feet, he's been a little weak, right? He hasn't been as tough on the feet. He's been knocked out. On the feet, Brito's got him. But on the ground, Sabatini's world class, right? I don't know if Bryce is as world class as like a Sabatini on the ground. I think Bryce is a good smother. I don't think he has a lot, I don't think his ground game is worldly. He went to the ground with Chrome Gracie, but Chrome Gracie's a fucking joke. He did hit a twister forever ago. Other than that, he's not like a killer on the ground. He lays on top, he beats you up. I think when you lay on top, beat someone up, you're going to give some openings to get back up. So I think John Silva's going to get taken out, but I think he's going to get back up. And I think he just needs to land a couple shots. I think his power is that real. I think his belief in himself is that real. And I think the team that he has behind him is getting him ready. The problem is he's crazy. Right? He's crazy. So the fight IQ is still in question. I hate the high-fiving. I hate all that shit. Get in there. Get ready to kill this guy. Bryce Mitchell, you got to wonder, is this guy training as hard as he possibly can be, or is he just going to leave it to the Lord? I don't need to train my man. Jesus Christ is going to help me, right? There's a lot of layers to this fight, but money's coming in on Bryce Mitchell. You're getting a cheaper price on John Silva. I like John Silva. I played him when he's at minus 325. I'm going to play him certainly now. He's in the slime ball parlay. The slime ball parlay has gone up. It's already been placed by me, but I'm going to have to maybe place it again. I don't know. Maybe build another one. We'll go out that at the end. All right, next up, Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett. Chandler plus 136. Paddy Pimblett minus 162. Fight that I tweeted out yesterday was giving me the hardest time. Plus 130 for Mike Chandler right now. I've never been a Paddy hater. I like Paddy. I think he's great for the sport. I think that his personality is great. I think every time he fights, he's getting better. He's getting thicker as well. His body looks phenomenal. He looked great against physically. He looked great against Sonny Ferguson. He looked even better against Bobby Green. I know he blows up in between stuff, but he blows up in between fights. But he's trying to cut that back now. He is only taking fights they're smart. His path in the UFC has been really smart. His team, the UFC's handled him really well. Because he is a superstar. He is a lightning bolt. My only complaint is he's going cornrows instead of the floppy hair. I want to see the floppy hair. I get it, though. Every time you get jabbed, your hair shakes, and the judges think you get rocked or whatever. Bad visual. But Michael Chandler has had no favorites since coming to the UFC. I know he's only 2-4. That's like the big talking point with Michael Chandler. Oh, this guy's only 2-4 in the UFC. He hasn't fought anybody. Debuts against Dan Hooker, knocks him out round 1. That's not the easiest thing to do in the world, but he knocked out Dan Hooker round 1. Then he gets a title fight right away because of his name and everything against Charles Oliveira. Hurts Charles Oliveira bad in that first round. He gets clipped, gets knocked out in the second round. Then he fights Justin Gaethje, an all-out, all-time classic fight, loses a decision, 103 to 116 on the strikes. Gaethje dropped him, but he came back. Then he goes and knocks out Tony Ferguson. Credible knockout over Tony Ferguson, front kick, whatever, okay? His 2 wins, Dan Hooker's a good win, Tony Ferguson's washed, right? The guy's, he's never going to win a fight again. Then they give him Dustin Poirier, loses by rear naked choke to Poirier. Chandler landed 3 takedowns, wasn't his best performance. I thought he looked very flat, and I think Dustin Poirier is an absolute G, hard to look good against. And then he goes against Charles Oliveira again in a 5-round fight. Phenomenal stuff from Chandler, but he got taken out 5 times. He had no offensive wrestling, really. Paddy's going to want to get this fight to the ground. Paddy's going to want to get this fight to the ground. Is he a better grappler or wrestler than Charles Oliveira? No, right? Charles Oliveira had his back for 5 rounds, essentially, or 11 or whatever, 12 minutes of that fight. He had his back and didn't submit Chandler. Chandler knows what's going to happen. The only thing is if Chandler's taking Paddy, if he's taking off, if he's buying into what I'm saying, right, what everyone's saying, I've been in there with Poirier, I've been in there with Gaethje, I've been in with Oliveira twice, right? They, like, I can go in there with Paddy, but the fact that Poirier submitted him rear naked choke, that's Paddy's bread and butter. He gets your back, it's a problem. Paddy, I think, Charles Oliveira, I think, is head and shoulders better, jiu-jitsu better grappler than Paddy, but I think Paddy's more physical when he gets on top. Paddy's biggest issue from the past when he lost is when he would get manhandled. But he's sized up, so he's fixed that. You know what I mean? So I'm going back and forth with what's going to separate this. I think it's going to be on the feet. I think Paddy's wrestling is still a work in progress. I don't think he's going to rush into any takedowns. I think he's going to kick Chandler from the outside. Chandler's leg kick defense is weak. You want to take out Chandler's wheels. He's got weird ankles. He bounces weird. He gets dead foot almost every fight, right? You got to watch out the right hand. But Michael Chandler, no matter what fight it is, all those fights I just named, he lands a shot. He lands a right hand. Paddy, Scousers don't get knocked out, but he's been put down before. He's been wobbled before. You take a clean right hand from Chandler, what's going to happen? So it's very interesting, and wouldn't be surprised if Chandler even initiates some of the grappling too. Got to be very careful though. You got to be very sure of the grappling because Paddy isn't what he used to be. Get pinned down. He's got tricks now. He's got some good judo. He'll take your back from the bottom. I've seen him do it. So you got to be careful here. So my gut's telling me Chandler. My brain and my wallet want to go Paddy. I'm going to go Chandler. Chandler is the gut. The gut wins. The big old gut wins. I just think he catches Paddy with something. I do. I just think Paddy's defense is still not great, even with the Bobby Green stuff. Bobby Green did nothing in that fight, getting his wheels kicked off. Chandler's not like that. Chandler's going for it. Chandler's not afraid. He's not gun shy. He's coming at your fucking head. And I think he's going to catch Paddy with something. I do. What is Chandler by knockout? Chandler by knockout plus 250. I just think he catches Paddy. I think Paddy has a really bright future. I like him. I'm not one of those guys that's been really eager to fade Paddy or anything like that. I'm rooting for the guy to win because I think he is a superstar in the making. I would love to see him fight these top-level competitions. That's what we've all wanted to see. And Chandler is his real introduction into the top. But I'm going to go Chandler. I flip-flop back and forth. I might even flip-flop by Saturday. I'll tweet out if I did, but probably not. I'm steadfast on Chandler. Let's go to the main event, baby. Alexander Volkanovski, minus 118 versus Diego Lopez, plus 124. This line's moving. This line is a moving. Updated line. Volkanovski, minus 130. Diego Lopez, plus 110. So, first and foremost, Diego Lopez looks exactly like Patrick Swayze, so it hurts my heart that I'm not going to pick him. I'm with Volkanovski here. God, what a fight. I can't wait to see how this plays out because everything Volkanovski has said during the countdown show, during the interviews leading up to this fight has been absolutely on the money. I believe him. I love it. He physically looks to be in incredible shape, but the problem is he cooked? Is the chin gone? He gets knocked out with a head kick by Islam Makhachev, and then 4 or 5 months later, he gets knocked out by Topuria. Hasn't fought since then, right? Let the brain rest. You let your body rest, right? Now he's got Diego Lopez. Now Diego Lopez is a motherfucker for round one. Round one, he is a problem. But it's that extended that I'm a problem with. Johnny Anik came at, not even come at me. I picked Volkanovski, and I said the reason I like Volkanovski is Diego Lopez let that third round slip away and let Dan Ige come back. And he goes, yeah, but you got to throw that one out. That doesn't count. I can't use that as a handicap. And I think, no, I think you can because every third round he's been in, Jonathan Brinton in the Contender Series, Diego Lopez lost that third round. Movsar Evloev, Diego Lopez lost that third round. Then you got Gavin Tucker win, Pat Sabatini first round, Sadiq Youssef first round, Dan Ige third round decision. He lost that third round, faded. Brian Ortega. Ortega started coming back in that third round. I don't know if he lost it on like the cards, but if you use your eyes, Diego Lopez is losing a lot of these third rounds. And I was going to say that. I had that in my notes ready to fire off, but it was at the end of the show. So, whatever. I'm not going to be combative. But he loses third rounds. You can't throw away the Danny Ige fight. Yes, he did. Took it on like 8 hours, but he had the full camp. He should have went out there and fucking steamrolled Danny Ige in the first round. And he looked good in the first round. He always does. But it's that second and third round, man. And I just don't know. Volkanovski can go 5 rounds in his sleep. So the pick is Volkanovski. I'm going to bet him at this low number. I think by decision. I don't think he'll get Diego out of there. But if, Diego's got great jiu-jitsu. But if Volk wants to wrestle, he can wrestle. He has that. He's got Craig Jones in his corner. He's worked on his grappling extensively for that Islam fight, and it's progressed. And I think that's where Volkanovski is dangerous. In his prime, leading up to the title, once he got the title, mixing everything up was his bread and butter. He's really good on the feet. His timing's really good. He uses his length really well, he uses his 5'6" frame really well going in and out. He's got a great jab for being a small guy, right? Hard to hit, hard to find at times, but sometimes he sets patterns. Guys can read it. That's what he said against Topuria. Max Holloway was trying to get that pattern. So then the second fight, he switched to leg kicks. Third fight, he absolutely dominated Max. And I think that's what his path to victory here is. He's got to mix things up. I know Diego's a motherfucker on the ground. First 2 rounds, though, you stand at distance. You play it safe. You pick them when you pick your shots when you can. You watch the right hand. You tuck your chin. You avoid all of that, right? And then the third round, when Diego starts to slow down, naturally, if he doesn't get his second win, because he's never been 5 in the UFC, if he doesn't get that second win, he's cooked. But once then, that's when you start initiating the grappling. No matter how good of a grappler you are, world class, you start grappling when you're tired, and you got a guy like Volk who is strong, who is good on top of you, beating you up, that's a problem. So I think Diego's low. If there's going to be a finish, I'm going to say the most obvious thing in the fucking world. I think I have written down here Volk by decision. So that will be what the pick I give out. But Diego wins early knockout, round 1 and 2 knockout. Play that if you want. Probably not the best number. Volk, if he finishes, it's going to be in the 4th round. Diego will get out of the 3rd round, and then he'll get in the new territory. And Volk taking him down and beating him up on the ground, that's how he'll get a finish. Volk's ground and pound is pretty nasty when he gets there, and that dude doesn't get tired. It's just a matter of him getting out in that 1st round, which I think he will. I believe in Volk. I have so much respect for the guy. I love how honest he is. That's what I try to provide in this channel, just the utmost honesty, even if it's embarrassing, even if, I'm not like playing this alpha, I'm not, whatever, I'm not an alpha male beefcake with a... No, you got to be honest with your audience, and he's honest with everything, and it's refreshing, right? And I think he's a dangerous guy this week, and I do, and I can't wait for that fight. I can't wait for this fucking card. All right, so recap: locks, mortal lock, Jones Silva, dog lock, Dan Ige, even though you could really go any different way there. And then set him home is all the way down to Marco Trulio. And then the green hammer is Mitch Raposo by submission, plus 750. Don't forget about that. We cashing that one, babe. We cashing that one. And then the slime ball parlay. It is currently 14-15 on DraftKings Sportsbook right now. I got it a little bit different. I got it at plus 1365. Either way, that's fucking juice. 14-1 currently, and it might even go up because some of these lines are moving. But I got Jones Silva. He's the mortal lock. He's the favorite in the slime ball. The dog, Pitbull, plus 164. And then the prop, Julian Erosa by submission, plus 300. Currently on DraftKings Sportsbook, plus 1415. I got it for plus 365. Might reload again and get 1415, baby. 14 is my favorite number. I got married in the year 2015. It's meant to be, baby. All right, that's the show. That's it. A lot of fun. Love you guys. Sorry about last week. Trying to be more consistent. Trying to get, it's a juggling act. And right now I'm dropping the balls. Right now I'm not a great juggler. But we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. It takes practice, right? And you guys are the best. Hit the subscribe button. What do we got? 2,100 beautiful people. And rate and review on iTunes, rate and review over there on Spotify. You guys are the fucking best.